Hi, my name is Eli Taylor with the AP Design Fab Lab. Today we're going to cover how to set up the MIG welders. You'll know it's a MIG welder because it'll have a gun just like this when you walk up to the machine. First things first, let's grab some PPE. In these two black cabinets is where they're stored. Let's open them up. If you're not wearing jeans, I need you to wear an apron underneath your jacket. These are FR rated jackets. The size is on the back of the collar. We need to be wearing leather gloves if we're welding. The size should be written on them. They're paired up left to right. Make sure that you take this clip off, put it in the basket. When you return them, please clip them back together. These are our welding hoods. You're obviously going to need one of these. I highly recommend the Jackson. Okay, now it's time to set up the welding machine. You'll notice that this gun has big loops and it's wrapped around the front. The ground is wrapped up separately, just draping over the back. That makes it tangle free, so please put it back this way when you're done welding. To set it up, first thing I do is I grab the gun lead and I make sure that there's no coils, there's no twists. It's a one continuous line, and I'm going to put this into a holster. Some of these tables have little holsters all over. The reason I do that is I don't want the trigger to be pulled as I'm turning on the machine. The ground lead comes off. Just make sure that you're grounding to bare metal and not a painted surface like the frame of this table or the legs of that table. Anything you ground to needs to be bare metal. That way you have a good connection. Next step, we're going to turn on the machine. The power switch is always on the front of all of these millers. And then the third step would be opening this gas bottle by pulling the pin. You'll see a flow meter. Some people call them regulators. There's no need to adjust this pressure. All we do is open this up and turn this valve. And when we open the bottle, it would be the same as like a soda bottle or a mason jar. You're opening it counterclockwise. You're going to turn it until it stops. This should read about 35 psi. You should never need to mess with it. If you're having shielding gas issues, let me know and I can come set the regulator for you. Each of these MIG welders has a different chart with settings based off of your material thickness for the amount of voltage and wire feed speed that you need. So you can reference all this data that is specific to each machine. If we come down here, say I'm welding on 1/8 inch material, I'm going to find 1/8 inch on the chart and it's going to give me two numbers. I see 18 volts and 304 on the wire feed. So if we come down to these knobs, we'll see this top dial is for voltage, the bottom dial is for wire feed speed. All you do is try to match them up the best you can to the chart depending on the material thickness that you're working on, and you should be good to go. The first thing I do before I weld is I check the contact tip and the nozzle to make sure there's not too much spatter buildup inside of there. On this gun you can see there's quite a bit of buildup. To fix that, you're going to pull this nozzle off. Some of them are threaded and you screw them off, and I'll check the contact tip first. To clean that, I just use the nozzle. I spin it around. It doesn't need to be shiny, but we don't want steel BBs on it. Next step, I grab welding pliers and I ream out the nozzle that way. Now we can see it's nice and shiny and clear of steel debris. That's the key to getting a good smooth weld. One more thing. These welding pliers have a trimmer built into them. You can see that one side is flat and one side has a recess. If you need to trim your wire and it's too long, that will automatically trim it to the right length to start your weld. All right, so the final step before we begin welding is to turn on the fume extraction. On the back of this hood here, you'll see two symbols. One is for the fan, one is for the light. Turn both of these switches on. It'll take about 10 seconds and you'll hear the dust collection kick on. Now it's time to weld. So if we're using these nice fixture tables, we want to keep them clean and spatter free. We have anti-spatter. It's a red liquid in these bottles. It's a good idea to go ahead and coat the whole surface of the table. It evaporates with time, so add it as you're welding. It helps keep the table clean and free of debris. Eyes.